Welcome students, welcome again to this next video lecture. So in previous video lectures we have studied the concepts of human rights, the meanings of human rights, characteristics of human rights. Okay, so next point here we are going to study, that is human values. We always say that man should have values. Without values we cannot consider the person who is standing in front of you is a man in real sense, because his psyche is different, his psychological different, his mindset is different. Okay, so values are very much important in our day to day life, in our career. And how it is important and what is the base of values, let us see here. So see, in the part of introduction, see, human values are the virtues. It's our virtues, okay, that guide us to take into account human element when one interact with other human beings. Those virtues are like values, and those virtues guide us to while interacting with other person or other human beings. And they are our feelings for the human essence of others. Means whatever we communicate with the other persons, that communication is not only related to that content, but that communication also includes those values, because communication expresses our feelings and emotions. And feelings or emotions are also those feelings have the essence of those values. Okay, and same thing we interact with the other persons. So it's both what we expect others to do to us. We expect from other people to do something for us, and what we aim to give to other human beings. So these human values give the effect of bonding, confronting, and reassuring. So value guides the selection or evaluate policies. Again, same values guide guides the selection and evaluate the people as well as events. If you have values, we judge others whether those persons have those values or not. Again, any kind of events are organized, we observe whether throughout that event are their values are imbibed in that event or not. So that is, values uh, are like standards or criteria. So some basic values are given here in this slide. See here, those includes self direction, stimulation, hedonism, achievement, power, security, conformity, tradition, benevolence, universalism. So these are the basic values that we can inculcate in our personality, that we can inculcate in our society, family, as well as in our culture also. So there are types of values. Types of values, those are mentioned here. Those are moral values, ethical values, professional values, social values, aesthetic values, and psychological values. So one by one we may study in detail the types of values. So first is the social values. So see, what are the social values? See, the quality, those are positive and negative, positive or negative, that renders something desirable or valuable. There are some quality, positive qualities as well as negative qualities, but we should think about whether that those qualities are giving us something valuable or desirable or not. So those are social values. Again, these social values includes principles, standards, or qualities considered worthwhile or desirable by the person who holds them. So these are the standards or qualities or principles that particular person, specific person holds that, and by its qualities, principles, we know that person. So it is the parameter, we can say, which is available in the society. So those qualities of behavior, thought, and character that society regards as being intrinsically good having desirable results and worthy of emulation of others. So values are our subjective reactions to the world around us. They guide and mold our options and behavior. And values have three different characteristics. Those are mentioned here. See, it is developed early in life and are very resistant to change. Means if you know the value, we cannot change that value. That is the resistance. If it is good value, we cannot surrender that. We cannot release it out, but we implement that. Then it defines what is right and what is wrong on the basis of social values, and it cannot be proved correct or incorrect, valid or non valid. So there are basics of social values. We just observe what are the social values, and right now let us think about what are the basics of social values. So first is that participation in decision making process. Okay, so values, as it is said before, values guides us. Values guides us to be a good person, to take the better decisions, and like that way, it also protects our privacy and freedom of information. Okay, for example, at working place, if we get other person's information without his permission, so we cannot say it's a good value or ethical value or it's ethic. Okay, rather it is called misconduct. Then equality and integration. The basic of social value is that it maintains equality and integration. Then it protects the environment around us, and it protects the unborn qualities within the personality. So these are the basics of social values. Now next type of value is that ethical values, which is also important like social values. So as far as this title suggests, ethical values, there are two components, ethics and values. So let us discuss first what is ethics. So ethics is the branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong conduct. Okay, ethics help us what is good, what is right or wrong conduct. Okay, it recommends such concepts. Again, in ethics, value denotes something's degree of importance with the aim of determining what action of life is best to do or live, or to describe the significance of different actions. It may be described as treating actions themselves as abstract object, putting values in them. So these are the interdependent, or rather we can say these are the inseparable parts. Hmm? But we should not say that ethic means values and values mean ethics. Okay, so these are the interrelated things, both the components, ethics and values. Okay, so some points in ethical values are mentioned here. See, the corporate culture. Hmm? Corporate culture, conveying company values, creating an ethical workplace, then fair treatment, acting with integrity, dealing with unethical business values. So these points comes in the ethical values in corporate sector, and how it is justifiable. Let us hear. Let us explain or one by one. So corporate culture. What is said here? Ethical values are available in the corporate culture. Okay. So see, companies that define key elements of a corporate culture communicate their core values, beliefs, and preferred approaches to handling common and uncommon business situations. Obviously, there are some situations arise at the working place. Okay, so which is applicable, which is beneficial for us for the company growth, that is applied or that is utilized during the working hours. Then employees with a firm grasp on a company's values will make the most appropriate choices when facing a business dilemma. What is said here? Say employees with a firm grasp on a company's values will make the most appropriate choices when facing with a business dilemma. If there are some problems or dilemma or dual condition where we cannot take the better decisions, whether it is this will be better options or that one, we we trapped in that situation. So that is called here dilemma, and this condition may also appear in corporate sector. So it helps to take the better decisions to the employees. So corporate culture is a part of ethical values. Then conveying company values. Okay, so managers define ethical business behavior in their workplaces by explaining to employees how behavior and action affects the business oral overall mission. So if you are company employee, that human values that you are keeping with you, if you are working in your company and some proposals we have implementing or completing, that time those company values are reflected in your actions. Then this approach helps employees understand the link between ethical business behavior and corporate success. Then creating an ethical workplace. While there are many shades of gray in business dealings, companies can define ethical business values by outlining clear examples of right and wrong behavior as it applies to them. Okay, then this can be achieved by role playing scenarios such as customer interactions, employee disputes, and negotiations with vendors and customers. Okay, so such kind of ethical workplace or ethical values we must have as an employee or as an employee. So next point is that fair treatment. So a business can define ethical behavior by outlining what it considers fair and just treatment of employees and uh, customers. Just means here uh, has the synonym of fair treatment. Okay, so a business can define ethical behavior by outlining what it considers fair and just treatment of employees and customers. If suppose someone is treating misbehaving with you, then other members will help you to solve that conflict, to solve that dispute. It means that the person who is mediating will be your colleague, because he wants to help you or to keep you away from the malpractices or misconduct. Okay, so this includes goodwill among co-workers and toward customers. Again, it's a willingness to give back to the community and the self-control to avoid situations when unethical behavior could occur. Then when employees understand how a company defines business ethical values, they become more likely to comply with corporate policies and management decisions. So next point is acting with integrity. Means whatever actions or whatever decisions we are taking for the betterment of the company, there should be a teamwork, there should be unity. So a company that defines business ethical values as a core element of a corporate culture that encourages employees to perform their job with responsibilities. Okay, and this often involves doing what's right for the business without regard to personal outcomes or ulterior motives. Ulterior means any kind of dangerous, something wrong, something malpractices. Okay, means we should do the actions which is betterment of that company. Okay, so dealing with unethical business values, no doubt there may be some unethical values available in the business sector, and we should deal with unethical business values. Then how we can deal with here, and what are the unethical business values? See, many poor personal or professional decisions are based on a rationalization of the ethics involved. Suppose you are very much honest and you are doing your task honestly, but someone is alleging you that something is wrong happened with you, then we should clarify those allegations there when someone is criticizing you. Then truly defining business ethical values in a workplace environment involves following examples of ethical behavior and fair treatment, starting from management and trickling down. So those values, those good values, ethical values, should be trickled down, and it helps to your juniors. Then next point is professional values. So uh, these points we have discussed. See, introduction, again, uh, introduction to human values, basic values, again types of values, and here these two types of values we have discussed right now: moral values and ethical values. So again we have discussed social values. So in next video we will study professional values. Till then, thank you, and let us stop here little bit.